Swan prep using the roller. Now there's 1,000,001 variations on this, so I'm just going to keep it relatively basic, because we can play around with leg position, having the feet wider, narrower, feet turn out, feet turn in, feet neutral. I'm just going to try and keep this basic because we're more interested in what the roller is adding into the equation rather than not using the roller. Deliriously happy with that, Emma? Roll yourself over onto your, lie down on your front. And we're just going to have, haven't said all that, we're going to have the legs wider than the mat, feet in, turn out. Again, you'll have your own preference of what you want to focus on with that, that's fine. Now, you wouldn't think so, but the biggest thing from a class to watch for is, now Emma's got a good position, what some people do, can I just move that roller? Some people have that there, and when they come to do the movement, they're fighting with the lip of the mat, or they'll have it too high up the arms. I'll explain that. But the first one is, either be well on the mat, or be off the mat. Does that make sense? So you're not, especially with our mats, because our mats are quite thick. If you've got thin mats, it doesn't matter as much. But with that, when you come to do the movement, they're sort of fighting with that. You'll understand what I mean when I do it. So again, you can play around with arm distances, how wide you have your arms. I'm just going to try and keep this, like I said, a bit basic. Just have your arms so they're a little bit wider than your shoulders, almost so that your arms is like an extension, if you like, of your latissimus dorsi. Just a little bit. Again, I'm going to keep this basic, and then I'll advance it a little bit. Just keep your palms facing downwards. That's it. Well done, Emma. And now, push the pubic bone down into the ground. And then relax the bum. And then push your pubic bone down into the ground again. That was okay. You heel. And can you just engage your heels into the mat? That's a minor point. I'm just focusing on. Just an observation, your left one's higher than your right one. Can you get that down a bit more? Can you feel any hips in your bum? Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's really not what the beauty of this one's about. As a move, it is. That's what you're focusing on. But what's the roller adding into it? And it's to do with shoulder. Can you just lift your head away from the floor, still look down? Super. I'll cue breath, but you'll have your own breath pattern, your own ideas of breath. That's fine. Breathe in. As you breathe out, gently push down with the roller, lift your head up and send your shoulder blades down your back. Just leave it there for now, that's enough for now. Finish breathing out, breathe in as you lower down. So where I like to start with this is the roller just underneath the elbow. Yeah. Now, your instructors, you might have come across this before. When you stand it up and you say to someone below the elbow, they do that. For some reason, when they're lying down and they say below the elbow, they do it here. I can understand why, don't get me wrong. Right, what's below the elbow? Well, that's below the elbow, isn't it? That's above the elbow. Oh, it's below the elbow, it's above the elbow. Anyway, it just wound me up. So that's it. Push the pubic bone down to the ground, but you've only done a breath in or breath out, so I really don't care. As you roll that imaginary marble away, lift your spine into extension, the shoulder blades are down the back. That's allowing for the shoulders to move. This mimics very well what Joseph Pilates does, this swan on the reformer, or using the tower, I should say, and lower back down again. Okay, we can advance that, if you like to call it that, by having what I call gladiator thumbs. Thumbs down to thumbs up. So put your thumbs down. Actually, what are we interested in? We're not interested in the thumbs, really. What happens in your shoulders? You are internally rotated. So depth. And then as you lift up, you're going to externally rotate. As you send your shoulder blades down, externally rotate, thumbs up, let the gladiator live. Don't come up too high. But this isn't yoga. We want to control the spine. And then lower back down again. So we're after internal rotation, bring it up as you push it. So you're gently engaging with the floor as you slide the shoulder blades down the back. Look up as well. That's it. Just be conscious that the arms want to try and stay as straight as you possibly can. Lower down, roll the thumbs in. Now, Emma's done it already, and there's something else you'll be watching for on the roller, is they start off with your arms there, say, and then after they've done a few, they end up with the arms there. So your left arm more than your right arm, just an observation, that's all, and lower down. So try and recenter yourself, put your arms a little bit narrower. And this one there, that's it. Thumbs down, push down, keep your arms straight. The movement wants to come from your shoulder blades moving, not from by you bending it in. which is tempting to do. So that's what you're watching for. Watching for people who aren't just bringing it in like that. The arms that you can lower down. You can carry on doing it as I talk if you want. We want the movement to be brought by the shoulder blade. So the arms stay straight, they go down the body. That's why we're not interested in coming up too high, or I'm not anyway. So keep the arms perfectly straight as you can. Just lift up, send the shoulder blades down your back. That's it. Even if that means you're not going up high, don't get away from the ego about coming right the way up. We don't need that much extension in the spine. We don't want to come up too far. It's getting the shoulder blades down. Lift your head as well. And that's it. Won't do any more. Any questions in relation to that? Great shoulder.
Was it my arms that were going out?
Yeah, you do. With most people, you'll find that. I'm no different myself. You start off there, and there's slight movements as you internal, external, rotating your arms. And what sometimes it's a case of your arms just sort of move out if you're really hot and sweaty, but you're not hot and sweaty. You haven't got that excuse. So it's just watching people that do. On a practical level, one of the biggest things you find is they have the positioning wrong. It's either, so let me just show you what can happen. So lower down, they'll start, so put your arms on it, but start off with your arm. That's what they'll do. They'll have their arms there, and now come up, keeping your arms straight. You're on your fingers, and they'll come, that's what the position they'll be in. That's the biggest thing to watch for. That, and the arms go wider. Now, the arms going wider isn't necessarily an issue, because as I said on other videos, there is nothing particularly magic about that angle. If you want to be scientific, you'd be doing it at different angles. Unless they wear swimmers, well, butterfly swimmers, you could argue they want to be there for butterfly. I don't know, I'm not a swimmer, so there might be swimmers out there saying, no, when you're in a butterfly, you want to be there, but that's fine. But if you're diving in and swimming like front crawl, maybe narrow would be more applicable. If you're dealing with cyclists, probably narrow would be slightly more applicable. But it's get away from this as right or wrong. So as a basic, I have them slightly wider than shoulders. If you've got a particular shoulder issue, you might find they have to have them wider to accommodate. You okay with that one? Do you like that one?
Yeah, I really like this.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And actually, I probably come up higher because I use it as an extension thing. But again,
yeah, that's just, you'll have your own, like I said, you'll have your own ethos of how you teach. For me personally, we don't need that much extension in your spine. It is one of the ones, as we age, as of all the spinal movements, we lose extension far more, quite dramatically more than other spinal movements, but we still don't necessarily need massive amounts. It's not really what about you look like, because people want to look and what we call Instagram type stuff. You don't need that much extension.
Yeah.
That's
what's good, like doing different videos.
In fact, there's some ones that I do where we're hardly lifting at all. It's more about this movement really being on the roller. What does it add? It's shoulders. Not about lifting right up. So you can literally just do that. And what you do is maybe do the Roman arms, do the gladiator arms. Almost that, focusing on the shoulder blades. Keep the arms as straight as you can. That's it. So yeah, but thumb down, push down, and roll your thumbs out as you draw the shoulder blades down. Maybe just lift the head slightly, just that's it. It's more about what's happening here, shoulder blades. Down the back, down the back, down the back, down the back. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And that is Swan Prep using the foam roller. Anything you want to add?